Reasons for the UK leaving the European Union. The United Kingdom left the European Union, a process known as Brexit, following a 2016 referendum. Several political, economic, and social factors contributed to this historic decision. Here's a clear breakdown of the main reasons. 1. Sovereignty. Key argument. Many Brexit supporters believed that EU membership undermined British sovereignty. Why it mattered. EU laws took precedence over UK laws in certain areas, which critics saw as limiting the UK Parliament's power to make independent decisions. 2. Immigration control. Key argument. Brexit advocates wanted greater control over the UK's borders. Context. EU freedom of movement allowed citizens of any EU country to live and work in the UK. This led to increased immigration, particularly from Eastern Europe. Public concern. Some UK citizens felt that immigration was putting pressure on public services, jobs, and housing. 3. Economic independence. Key argument. Critics of the EU said the UK contributed too much money to the EU budget. Slogan. We send the EU £350 million a week. Goal. To redirect funds to domestic priorities like the NHS. 4. Trade and regulations. Key argument. Brexit supporters wanted to strike independent trade deals and escape EU regulations. Belief. EU rules were seen as overly bureaucratic and restrictive, especially for small businesses. 5. Democratic deficit. Key argument. Some felt that the EU was not fully democratic or accountable. Viewpoint. Decision-making by unelected EU bodies like the European Commission sparked frustration. 6. National identity and Euroscepticism. Cultural factor. A growing sentiment that EU membership diluted British identity. Media influence. UK tabloids and politicians often portrayed the EU as interfering or overreaching. 7. Eurozone crisis and EU expansion concern. The financial crises in Greece and other EU countries, and the EU's handling of them, raised doubts about EU competence. Fear. Future enlargement of the EU could lead to more immigration and instability. Outcome. Referendum date. June 23, 2016. Result. 52% voted to leave, 48% to remain. Brexit Day. January 31, 2020. In summary. Brexit was driven by a complex mix of political control, economic autonomy, immigration concerns, and national identity. While some saw it as a reclaiming of independence, others feared the economic and diplomatic costs of separation from Europe. Would you like a visual timeline or details about the post-Brexit consequences?